अपने बाथरूम में जाके कितना पानी उड़ेलते हो अपने शरीर पर? फुहारा चलता रहता है, पानी बर्बाद होता रहता है, क्योंकि तुम्हें फ्री में मिल रहा है 4 रुपए में 1000 लीटर। पानी की कीमत रुपए में नहीं है, पानी की कीमत जीवन में। हर एक बूंद का महत्व है, हर एक बूंद में प्राण है। भारत को यदि पानीदार रहना है तो वर्षा का जल सहेजना पड़ेगा, समझना पड़ेगा और समझाना पड़ेगा। इसलिए मैं आज कह सकता हूं कि पिछले 36 सालों में 12 सूखी मरी हुई नदियों को लोगों की मेहनत से, बिना सरकारी पैसा लिए, लोगों के पसीने से पुनर्जीवित कर सका। जब मैं जवान था तो इस देश की किसी भी नदी में से पानी उठा के पी सकता था। आज इस देश में एक नदी ऐसी नहीं बची जिसका पानी उठा के पी सकते हैं। इसलिए नदियों पर संकट है। इस संकट से लड़ने के लिए हम सबको साथ आना पड़ेगा, इकट्ठे होना पड़ेगा। पानी का काम किसी एक का नहीं होता, अकेले का नहीं होता, सबका साझा होता है। इसलिए सबको लगना पड़ेगा।
Now we are coming to the next one.
We believe that
How, from this
solutions
industrial
for
point of view,
waste
the
and
different
stormwater
companies
are needed now more
are
than
using
ever
this
before.
chitin and chitosan for
For
water
decades,
purification
the most
purposes.
common treatments have used synthetic and inorganic polymers. Our company set out with the belief that we cannot continue to solve one problem by creating another. And sometimes the simplest solutions really do have the biggest impact. We developed a better, more cost-effective technology to upcycle chitosan from crab and shrimp shells that are otherwise discarded. Technology based on the simple principle of biomimicry, modeling nature to solve our global water problems today. And being the only North American manufacturer, we are here to provide you with the most cost-effective and ready-to-use chitosan products for your application with short lead times. Our team is here to help you transition to the water treatment solutions of the future.
Next, how chitosan is being used as a flocculant or the coagulant to purify the waters. A demonstration. Here, chitosan coagulant has been used and it is being stirred vigorously, manually of course. So clean waters we obtain. Okay. So now we'll come to our topics. So Before going to any of our topics, that's what happens. Now, to make it more attractive before the students, first we should give the instructions in such a manner that may not be not related to their textbooks, but this is related to their topics in the major concerns. So how and which way it will be in the reality concerns, that will be the purpose of all kinds of this lecture. Now many times we say if it is based on say some mathematics, okay, so mathematics can also be very attractive say one in that sense by giving some real examples, some living examples. Say, for example, once we start, say, the Fuzzy theorems. There, what we do, the Fuzzy theorem, that is the abstracted type. Now, how this Fuzzy theorems has been utilized in these washing machines for our domestic as well as industrial application purposes, so that students will be attractive. That's when yes, that is also a very living subject, it's not a abstractive one. Similar way here also we give some preamble which is being called as the preamblums. Okay, anyway, that's been a waters, that is a very important part of our lives. It is being used in the different aspects from that point of views, but how and which way we'll present these ones, that is the main things. And all of you know, and that is not the ultimatum or the absolute one, the teachers and the all faculty as per their respective imaginations, they will present, but here I am showing how and which way that's been I present personally, okay, before the students. Okay, and then also I add the research activities also, the how this research is being going on, because nowadays what happens, not only these teachings as well as the research, how these two can be correlated with each others, how the students will be attractive or the motivated for the further research or further doing something new, because the new concepts would be coming from the students, because these are the new young generations. They will give what we know, they must be knowing much more than us, but what we need to initiate them, that is the main purpose. Okay, so water, from that point of view, water is very well known to all of us. So three parts is water, only one part is land. How and which way that's been a water cycle is maintained, how and which way that's been mineral waters we use in a PET bottle, okay, and what are the components are present, that everything is known to us. But once we are talking about this water, so it's not a new field, and in the old times also it is being used in our applications, domestic as well as industrial applications purposes. And there also now waters, that's been the major things once we consider, particularly in this before this engineering students, because I think most of these faculties concerned with their engineering departments and the engineering institutions. Okay, so water is a very essential part in this chemistry. Okay, and that only that's been we teach them and we learn them how and which way it can be utilized in their own professions as well as for this social welfare purposes also. Okay, so water is being used, water industry also. So once we use for this industrial application purposes, so their specification will be different, and once we use for our domestic application purposes, that applications will be different. Okay, so sources of waters, mainly rainwater, surface water, underground water, how and which way that's been it's formed these impurities, that is also very well known to us. Okay, so mainly what happened, many times we see that's been the natura or the natural spring water they use for our drinking purposes, because from the natures what we obtain, it is being well understood. That's mean what will be provided by natures, that is safe for her, peoples. Okay, but once we get this the surface waters, and that creates the lot of problems, and those problems are being created by the human beings only. Okay, most of the cases. Some of the cases that maybe the natural calamities are also present. Okay, so impurities are being considered in the three major ways, and here this the once we are considering these impurities in terms of this physical, chemical, and the microorganism, particularly these chemical impurities that we consider, the three major terms we use: the alkalinity, pH, and its hardness. Okay, and this alkalinity is being added in the different ways, but say it may be the hydroxides, carbonate, bicarbonate, phosphate, silicate, borate, some organic acids, some other volatile metals, microorganisms, and so many else. Okay, but for our usable purposes, only we consider the three basic impurities: hydroxides, carbonate, and bicarbonates. Beside this, as per this microorganism, BOD, COD also, but that is for this wastewater treatment purposes is being used. Okay, so these are the physical parameters that's been as per our naked eyes, how and which way we can purify, and you see the quality of this water. Then we come to this the colloidal, that's been if some impurities are present, then it may give some, and these impurities may comes in the different ways, so it will affect the color, odor, and the taste. So what I had told, that's been the chemical impurities. This is our major concerns in terms of this chemistry. Okay, so many major impurities, dissolved salts, and the dissolved gases are being considered in these chemical impurities. Then microorganisms is also one of the effects. Okay, so that may spread the different diseases. That is also very well known to us. Now, everything is well known to us, but I am telling you how and which way. That's been generally I present. Okay, so water treatment, natural water unfit for use because of the presence of these impurities, but most of the cases natural waters we obtain, say in the spring, that can be used as such. Like this waterman Sarvastri Rajendra Singh ji had told, that's been earlier days we used to take the pond of waters as our drinking purposes, nothing was happened. But if today if you take this pond of water as our drinking, it will create so many problems, health hazardous problems. That is the thing. That point of view, it has been told, that's been natural waters, it needs to be treated. So internal treatment, external treatment, disinfections, so many things are there. What are then water fits for the domestic and the industrial purposes. Now the questions comes in our minds. Once we will be using the drinking water for our usable purposes, so what should be the specification for it? Say in terms of its hardness. Now many times we have considered the degree of hardness. Many times we have considered how much quantity of this, say, for the soft waters, the limit of this specification should be present below of the 75 ppm, and that ppm has also, as per our standard knowledge, that we know that should always be as equivalent to calcium carbonate below 75. Okay, and then it's coming this the moderate hard waters above of this 75 to around 300, about 300 in ppm in this range. Then the harder waters above 300 to 400, then the very harder waters 400 and above. So for our drinking purposes, but as per our industrial application purposes, many times we have considered this above of this 400, but it will depends as per the application concerns in their industries. Okay, so already that's been the quality parameters of these waters that we can determines the physical as well as the chemicals, and particularly in terms of these chemical parameters we mainly concerns about is hardness, alkalinity, and pH. Okay, quality of parameters and its characteristics, already I told, that's mainly concern hydroxides, carbonates, and bicarbonate, and this is always be as equivalent to calcium carbonates. Equivalent, why we take calcium carbonate equivalent? Because this is very easy to calculate and this is the international standards. Okay, as per this alkalinity concerns, the strong alkalinity and weak alkalinity cannot present all together. Only hydroxides alkalinity may present individually, or hydroxides and carbonate and bicarbonate, or everything should be individually also. Estimation that is very well known to us, phenolphthalein as well as the methyl orange indicator base. Methyl orange give us the total alkalinity result, and phenolphthalein only gives the hydroxides and half of this carbonate. This is also very well known to us. Estimations of this alkalinity, that's procedures, is also very well known in our laboratory application purposes. In which way we do it now, everything we say to our students, everything is unknown to you, nothing should be known to you in the practical. So you have to say in the up to this intermediate what happens, and as per the concept of this titration that we know, one should be known so that we can find out the another ones, okay, another step of the solution. But here's everything we gives as per the unknown, but they have to find out the unknown samples result. So which way the students, how we instruct the students? Now you have to prepare your own standard solutions. So in this way, students will be knowing how to prepare the solutions, okay, and what are the precautions are needed. That is the significance. Another way, now once we tell to our students, instruct our students, then also we instruct our student, you will not be using any electronic balances, you will be using the manual balances. What is the significance of this manual balance? Now students are, sir, and nowadays we are in the modern era, then why you will use this, mean the old balances and the old techniques? Then we advise our students, je beta dekho, you are being advanced stage, but you have come across from this old to this advanced and older techniques to this. So how this older techniques has been modified to the today's new one, that you should know. Unless until you know the history of any of this, say history of the civilization, history of any of these inventions, okay, then it becomes very difficult to find out or to make some plannings or make the further advancement. Okay, that is the reason you will go for this manual balance. There you will see on which basis it works. There also you will get some physics, knowledge of this physics, how the lever is working on it. Purpose of this lever is what? To give the minimum input, you should get the maximum output, and how it is different from this common balance and then the chemical balance, where it is being used. It is being used particularly in this jewelry shops, the jewelry businessmen, they use this balance because that gives the very sophisticated and instrument, and though it is the manual one, but it gives the very accurate. Say gold is being sold, say if some milligrams, say 10 milligrams or 1 milligrams is giving excess, that will the huge loss. The jewelers will get the huge loss. So, but still then they use because it gives the very accurate result, and this accuracy range is up to 4th decimal. Okay, now you can get it nowadays even 6th decimal, and then the after a decimal 6 digit, etc. Okay, but this is accurate, and then not a much more losses will occur. And similar way, once we define this P, that's mean phenolphthalein reading, methyl orange. Methyl orange reading means always we say this is the total reading, because mid of this titrations we don't add this acid solution further, which is being used in terms of this phenolphthalein, that only we are using. That's mean including this methyl orange readings, and then we instruct the students, now you can come to this P and M relations, P and half of this M relations, and then you can find out and identify the nature, not only nature, the quantity of this impurities concern, alkalinity concerns. Okay, but they are also not only by using the equations concerns in terms of P and M, we also instruct the students as per the physical concept without going to your P and M relations. which has been provided in these tables. As per your concept, also you can go through it. Okay. Now, if say the phenolphthalein reading is more, then we consider hydroxides always be present. Okay, but at the same time carbonate also, and carbonate will give the half of this carbonate results. So on that basis you will come to this, the M reading, that you will see the M reading. Now if you compare, the M reading is slightly higher than the P readings. Okay, and say if I only had carbonate and bicarbonate is reading present, then you will see what the readings you are obtaining there. So you will see this is almost double of this methyl orange readings. Okay, so in this way you can find out as per the physical concept. It is also very essential. Nowadays everything has been very mechanical. If we say that when you multiply 5 into a 40, then they will come to this, either this calculator or with this mobiles calculator, they will try to calculate. They will not go through the manual. That's way what happens. Now we are killing the imaginations of our students. So that's why we install. Not only you will be limited to your equations, but also you should use your brain. That's mean your imaginations, your thinking. Okay, that is the purpose. Otherwise, nothing. Okay. So this is the estimations concerns, impurities concerned, disadvantages of hard water, that everything is very well known to us. Now, one of the major disadvantages, particularly for our domestic waters, what we are using, and if the hard waters is being present, many times you'll see in our gall bladders, in our belly, etc. That's when what happens, some stones occurs. That's why many times what happens, doctors say you take a more quantity of water so that it will be wash out. But many of the times if we take the small quantity, then it is not wash out. Then either it will be on the treatment basis or some operation basis. It needs to be clear. Okay, but that's why for this domestic application purposes, that's when the industry people, they are very clever. That's why they come to this with their new system, the filter system, new filter systems. Okay. But in the industrial use application purposes, what happens? Now, they are not supposed to bring a water from such a long distance, several kilometer distance. They will initiate their water origins from their site itself. But in this site, that will depends as per the plot and as per the sources concerns. Okay, so if this water becomes hard, then what happens? So they cannot ignore it. So they will go for this treatment purposes. That is the major use. Okay. Now treatment purposes, nowadays we are using the biological treatment processes also, many of the cases, but it depends as per its viability concerns. Okay. Otherwise not. Okay. Otherwise we must be going through these chemical treatment processes. See, though it is being called, that's when biological treatment is much more environmental friendly, but many times it is being happened. That's been environment, though it is environmental friendly, but it not gives much result. So what do we call, that means a biopolymers, a chitin and chitogen can also be utilized for this purification purposes. Okay, domestic as well as industrial purposes, but many times we should see the cost effectiveness as per its quality concerns also. But still it is now in this research stage, various kind of this adsorbents has been developed, various kind of this high surface area basis, aerogel basis, chitogens beads has been developed. We are also developing many of the high surface area basis materials. Okay, but many of the cases chemical treatment processes is with the preferable ones. Okay, now one of these industrial applications, particularly the boilers, is being used for their steam generation purposes for the different applications point of views. Okay, and that will create the problems if it being the very hard waters. So in these boilers, generally we prefer that should be below 0.2. That means your hardness should be almost negligible. Okay, similar way the caustic soda as well as the Sodium, that's been the hydroxides level 0.15 to 0.45 ppm. Soda alkalinity, that should be 0.45 to 1 ppm, but it is generally not happened. Excess impurities are being present always, so we need to have the several treatment processes, say scale and sarge formations, it undergo the corrosion, caustic embrittlements, priming and foaming, etc. So in this sludge, say on this boiler trouble sludge, how it is being formed. Okay, loose precipitate is called the surge. Suspended methods, boilers work, that's been a diagrams has been shown, and it forms the substances which have greater solubility in hot water than the cold waters. Those are the carbonate, magnesium carbonate, chloride, and the sulfates. Okay, so what will be the remedy for this one? So sludge should be removed. Okay, now disadvantages of these sludge formations as well as the prevention is to be taken. So we better to use the softened waters, and sometimes in the reactors also we use the blow down operations. Drawing portions is been shown also. Okay, this is the scale formations. Everything is known to us, nothing I am telling anything new to is, only I am being added, that's mean some of the things how we are adding before the students to just imagine, to create some imagination powers into his brains, his or her brains. That's only we are doing this work. Okay, so scale and hard substances that are generally being very sticky and formed to the inner surface and difficult to remove. Okay, so examples for these are the scale formation: calcium sulfate, calcium carbonate, magnesium hydroxides. Reasons for formations, that's been some chemistry has also been described, how and which way it is being removed. That is very well known. Once calcium bicarbonate is being heated, it will calcium carbonate will be precipitated out, and that basically form the scales. And as per the different temperature concerns, what are the solubility of this calcium sulfate concern, that is also being shown here. And generally those are being done thermally decomposition process. Say magnesium chloride, if it is being present, so it will form the magnesium hydroxide scale. Magnesium hydroxide can also be generated by thermally decomposing magnesium bicarbonate. Presence of silica can also form insoluble hard adherents, calcium silicate, magnesium silicate. So what the disadvantages, that also we know, this is the wastage of fuels, so its efficiency will be reduced. So the removal part, that's been the remedies part, is what we using some brushes, that's been to wipe out of these scales. Thermal shockings are also being used. Sometimes we use some chemical, that is the HCls, and by adding this ADTA. So boilers, corrosants basically are of three types: dissolved oxygen, dissolved carbon dioxide, and some dissolved salts. And as per this reactions concerned with these dissolved oxygens, iron forms this iron hydroxides, and then finally it's from the ferric oxides, that is the rust formation. Removal techniques is the hydrogens we use, sodium sulfides also we use. Okay, to get this to remove these dissolved oxygens, which will comes in their salts forms, or sometimes it will comes into this hydrogen, it will comes into the gaseous forms. Corrosants due to this carbon dioxide is also being occurs. Okay, but here as per this reactions concerns, that has been given magnesium bicarbonate, one heated magnesium carbonate, and then carbonated to its form these hydroxides, and waters it causes the slow corrosions. But corrosion due to these other dissolved salts are also possible, that is magnesium chloride, iron, ferrous chloride, ferrous hydroxides. Ultimately it forms the rust, and that's been corrode these boilers. So there's it's a form the caustic embrittlements. This is one of the phenomena. Okay, this is gives the boiler troubles. So it forms these brittles. Materials becomes brittles due to the accumulation of excess alkali. That's with sodium carbonate once with water in high temperature reacts. It's from the alkali, that's mean the sodium hydroxides. So tannin and prevention methods, tannin, lignin, sodium sulfates can be added. Sodium sulfate and hydroxide should be used in the ratio 1:1 to 3:1 for boilers working at the different pressures conditions, 10, 20 and 20 atmospheric pressures. How does priming and foamings are being formed? These are the continuous hard bubbles in these foamings, and the primings is the some particles in water, those carried along with the steams, and that's formed is the priming. And the process of formation of wet steam in boiler is called this process of formation of wet steam. Okay, this was the dry steam. Prevention methods are also as per the engineering knowledge. Now how they will design, unless until they are don't having the much knowledge about this, how water works and what are the quality of this water needed. So if this knowledge is there, then only they will be able to design it. Okay, and then some by fitting mechanical steam purifiers also. Then water levels should be maintained. We should use the soft waters, then decreasing amount of the dissolved salts. Additions of anti-foaming agents can also be used for prevention purposes, removing of oils as per the reactor design concerns. Prevention of scale formations. I have shown one chart that's been water softening external and internal treatment processes. The different processes are being made, and external treatment and the preventive methods what we take ultimately is goes to these rivers and river sides. So in this way, many of the times, and nowadays we call this Ganga and Jamuna has been highly polluted. These times before occurring this Magh Mela, we are seeing that's been Ganga and Jamuna river water is not usable at all. That indicates what? We are taking the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, so many things. Okay, Namo Ganga project, etc. But we are still now in the same dark, in the same hell positions. Okay, and that is the main purpose. Water, that's been before what I saw, what after treatments. Okay, that's all of the sludges and the effluents we are throwing into these rivers, and that is the major cause. So from that point of view, the boiler inspector is there, industry inspectors is there. So they one things, either they are not doing their duty honestly or properly, or peoples, that's particularly the industrial people as well as the domestic purposes also we are polluting these waters. We are not major concerns about this water. So this is the works, and not only the public health engineering's responsibility, as well the general public responsibility. Also how we can utilize the proper treatment processes and proper uses of everything, not only this water, proper use in terms of this plastics packet, plastic, say the polyethylene, which is mostly being used for the packaging application purposes, and we are throwing it here and there, so it is creating the another problem. That's been for this one we need we needs the major concern. That's been we should have our awareness. So we are lacking. That's mean India is particularly lacking in this the awareness, and so that at different times we are making the different awareness programs, but if it is not being used by all, then it is no use. That's mean no use means everything will gone to into the vein. Okay, so anyway, for the prevention of scale formations, as per our students' knowledge purposes, we are using the different conditioning methods: internal treatment, phosphate conditioning, carbonate, calgon, colloidal conditioning, sodium aluminate, etc. How and which way these phosphate conditionings works, and what is their reactions, that also we explain to our students. And then phosphate is also being found in these three different forms: acidic in nature, weakly alkaline in nature, and alkaline in nature, as per the salt concern, as per the number of hydrogen concerns in the salt. Okay, then carbonate conditionings. So calcium sulfate boiler waters which is present, so there we use the sodium carbonate, and then it is precipitated out, and then the sodium sulfate is what sodium carbonate can result in caustic amide. That should also look into it, and so it is to be used and very carefully, not in the major quantities. Calgon, that is basically the sodium hexametaphosphate, how and which way it works. Now I am talking all of those because there in some way some role is there of these biopolymers chitin and chitogens, and the some parts I will show you. That's when how and which way it is being helpful in the water treatment purposes, whether it is the internal and this external treatment purposes. Okay, but before that we should be knowing how and which way we can utilize it. So what are the property, what are the different chemicals compounds we are using on it. Okay, say calgon, that is sodium hexametaphosphate. Okay, so it's a form of this the soluble complex of these calciums. So calgon conditioning in this way is helpful for cleaning this washing machine drums. Also some others colloidal conditioning is also being used. Many times it is become non-sticky and the loose deposit can be removed by blow down operations. Softening methods. Now once we come to the softening methods, external treatment, lime soda. This is also two types: cold and hot lime soda process, zeolite and ion exchange processes. Lime soda process, that is very well known to us. Lime soda, once we are using, there are also how and which way students will be useful, the how much quantity of lime and soda is required. Say students as a public health engineer, they have been posted in some rural area or some urban areas also, but water needs to be treated by lime soda process. How and which way they will identify the how much quantity of lime and soda needs to be treated. Say 50,000 liters per day water is to be supplied in the municipal areas or in these urban rural areas. So how much cost will comes, how they will identify the proper lime and soda, proper chemicals they will identify, and the proper specifications should be provided by them. So unless until they are not having the knowledge of it, some chemistry knowledge they must have, and then only they will be able to understand the procurement process, the quality and its assurance. And that's why, you know, in the civil, this is the public health engineering is a part of this civil engineering. And so that's why in the civil engineering, that will say, as well as the chemical engineering also, there is a branch that is called the environmental engineering. And here as a science, the chemist concern, we call it the environmental science, is also required each and every aspect once we go for this public health engineering. Okay, so some of these important points of these calculations, I will not go much of it. So it just I am only showing because all of the teachers know, they know it very well and they are using it for their numericals, as well as when they are being demonstrating it, they are giving the proper uses and the proper equations, how and which way those are being calculated, where lime and soda is being added, why it is being added, why lime is being negative subtracted, and where it is to be added. Okay, that is the application and the requirement concerns. We use the equations for the lime requirement for softening, as well as the soda requirements for the calculation purposes. Okay, lime and soda impurities, say giving some examples, say lime and is the water having some impurities, how and which way we proceed. And say other cases, if the impurity is also present, then how and which way. Say impurity, say 90% impurity of lime is present. So naturally, once we are calculating, then we are considering that is the 100% pures. But once it has been given, say some impurity is present, say 90% impurity is present. So how and which way we will proceed? Naturally, our impure limes should be required at the more than the pure ones. So in which way we are calculating, that is also to be described before students. Okay. So hot and lime soda processes, the differences are also there. And this is a typical lime soda process reactor designs and which way it's a work. This has been shown. Okay, hot lime soda process. that pictures has also been shown. These are the only the pictorial presentations has been shown. Now once we are describing before students, we give in details in its descriptions, and that's how and which way each and every part is responsible for these reactors and for these treatment processes. Okay. So there are each and every cases there has been the pros and cons. Here also merit and demerits must be present. So what are the merits are present? How those merits we can take into our advantage purposes? What are the disadvantages are present? How and which way these disadvantages can be minimized? Okay, that can also be told to the students, or they can utilize once they will come into their professions. Okay, similar way, once we are calculating in which way, now there we are using some multiplication of factors and how to make it as equivalent to calcium carbonates. Here say lime requirement for obtaining 50,000 liters of hard waters, in which way we are calculating with in terms of its impurities concerns. Okay, similar way here also some sample examples has been shown. Okay, now we'll come to this zeolite process, and that is the main concerns in terms of this biopolymers, chitin and chitosan also. So before going to this, the purification processes by using these biopolymers, we should know the present methods and what are the methods earlier was known and how we have been able to modify it. That should be the major concerns. Okay, and that of the things are to be given as a hints to the students. Now these are not the only methods, because some modifications and some of the new techniques are also coming into the commercially in the markets. Okay, so how and which way those are being processed. So in this way the students will be encouraged in their research activities, or further imaginations, or they will be motivated not only in their own professions by earning money, but at the same times they will be motivated how to create the new things. Okay, that is the main purpose. That should be the main purpose. So in this way, that's been teachings, whatever we are teaching, whether it is water, fuels, or any of these engineering topics, etc., or in the science and other topics, that should be correlated, and that is the major targets in the present there's education systems, and that's why we have made so many parameters in terms of our what are the further progress means in terms of our promotions, etc., like this. Okay, that is the main point, because everything's what are the terms and conditions we are adopting. Each and every case there have been some purpose. Okay, so in this zeolite process, that is very well known, that's been the natural zeolite is also present, as well as the chemically modified zeolite is also present. This is basically the sodium aluminosilicate. Okay, and this process is also known as the permutate process. Okay, yeah, these are also this, so what I told, the natural and the synthetic is also possible, and say as per this use concern, that zeolites we have indicated it's calcium and magnesium zeolite, CaZe and MgZe, outgoing water containing sodium salts. Now once we are using this zeolite, now after using for certain durations, it should be exhausted. So that's why after exhaustion we are not supposed to throw it, and then that's been what happened, that will be the huge loss. Okay, so how and which way we can regenerate it, that should be the only in this engineering or this professions, not only using it, but how and which way it is to be maintained, how it can be regenerated, and how it can be used further longer. That's been its utility can be for longer durations. Okay, so there we come to this the regeneration process, and regeneration is basically being done by sodium chloride solution, which is called the brine waters. This is the highly concentrated sodium chloride solutions, and from that point of view, students are to be asked how in the reverse way also we can find out the say hardness is not given only in this regeneration processes. So how much sodium chloride has been used, what is his concentrations, how much quantity of water has been treated, everything, but you need to find out the hardness. one thing. Or hardness has been given, say you need to find out how much quantity of this when the brine water, that means sodium chloride, is required for your regeneration purposes, and that will be the concentration. So how much quantity of the sodium chlorides you will buy from these markets. Okay, so that is the way, that's mean we generally tell our students, so that they will think on it, not they will go through this the textbooks in which way they explain one after one after another it is coming. Okay, but it's not creates the or generates the minds into the students in which way they will think, and that is the purpose of the teachers, and how they will be motivated, how they will be able to think on it, and how they will make the new innovations, they will be able to make for this new innovations. So they are also every cases is having these advantages and disadvantages also. Okay, now we come to this the ion exchange process. These the permotite zeolite process and the ion exchange process, these are the very old processes, and still now we are using it many of the cases, and they are also the cationic and anionic exchange processes are there. This is a typical diagrams of this ion exchange process, cation as well as the anion processes. Okay, and ultimately how we obtain these soft waters. Okay, and as per the, since we are teaching in this chemistry, so chemistry in terms of it, the reaction scheme, the diagrams, everything should be present. So it should not be the very abstractive types. It will attract some attention, as well as it will be very easy to learn in which way it is functioning. Okay, so water pass through these anionic resin columns, interact the ions present in hard waters and its reactions. So regeneration is also to be done. Here we use this first for this sulfuric acid, and then the some ammonium based chloride forms, then we go for the alkali basis. Here also having the advantages and disadvantages, and that is to be pointed out very clearly. Okay, so that how we can minimize the disadvantages. So municipal water treatments purposes, many of the things we look into it. Okay, once it is to be supplied in the mass to the mass, and so many of the things we need to mind in our calculations. Okay, so treatment domestic purposes are being made, screening, sedimentation, filtration, and the disinfection. This is the only this is the very major parts. Okay, many times for our drinking water purposes, in our domestic we use earlier, even today also, the chlorine drops or some chloramine types of these compounds. Okay, but how and which way it's work, how much quantity we should use once we are cleaning these waters for our drainage system, some dirty waters is present, how we can use these the bleaching powders, how much quantity of this chlorine should be contents in these bleaching powders, or what should be the available chlorine, and how much the optimum condition it should present, and if it's present in the major quantities, and limiting these optimum levels, or if it is in the below levels, that's mean where why it is how it will be harmful, or it is not to be the effective disinfection purposes, that also we describes, and so we describes in this chlorine breaking point. Okay, pre-residual chlorine, how and which way it's works, and that's mean how much quantity of these ones or doses we should provide basically. Okay, so in as per its three basic steps we should concerns stage one, not three. After this one, the free combined residuals, which has been shown earlier. These three are the major steps. Okay, formation of chloramines, and then the destructions of this chloramine, formation of this free chlorides. This is the at this juncture up to this, say we should add these chlorides. So this give us the idea, that's mean how much quantity we can add it. You are also having the advantages and the disadvantages. Every cases, merit and demerits are there. Advantages, disadvantages are there. Pros and cons, everything is there. But how that's been the disadvantages, how we can minimize it, and if the advantages are there, how we can maximize it. That should be the main purpose. Okay. Now I will come some of these purifying systems as per this man-made purifiers as well as the natural purifiers. So earlier days, what the water bands in the mornings video I had told, that's when the pond water was also being used directly as a drinking water. So how this nature, how nature make it the usable for his people. Okay, so these are the water purification as defined by nature. Okay, as nature. So dissipate steam energy for flood control procedures, wetland products, sequester sediments, contaminant and nutrients is also being added. Okay, provides habitat to support biodiversity, provides aesthetic services and recreational opportunities. Okay, to her people, releases slower and cleaner waters from this stream. This is the nature's made waters which is being used as our drinking purposes. And these are the some of the methods. Say water purification by old days, we use what rocks, then coarse sands, fine sand, and then the filters we use, that water was being used. Okay, then we comes a little bit modifying stage like here. Okay, modifying stage we has comes. Okay, and then there we use the vegetations in this vegetation, then the sands and the gravels we use. Okay, this is the water purifying system after some modification, and then this again we come with this the further modification, zeolite perlmuttite process, and then the ion exchange process. Okay, now one of the major concerns, the arsenic. Many of these rural areas that you will see due to this arsenic containing water creating the lot of problems. Okay, so government, many of these organizations, even the NGOs are working on it. They are providing their services, how and which way that's when arsenic can be removed. Okay, so they are mainly, that's when we use the hand well is being used. Now how in these hand wells we can make some arsenic removal system, so that what the water is to be coming out, that can be utilized for their drinking purposes, and they can have the safe and the save their lives. Otherwise it's create a lot of problems that we know. Similar way, the fluorine containing fluoride in drinking waters also create the another problems. It creates a lot of health hazards. So what are the systems are required, how and which way we can work on it, and there arsenic as well as the defluoridization methods. Hydrogen also plays the very important role. So many works are also under progress, and many of the systems has come out in the markets also. Okay, now how we can differentiate between zeolite and the ion exchange processes? Yes, so this is the zeolite process. Okay, hard water is being supplied and sodium chloride solution is the inlet, the zeolite process, and the what the stock water we are obtaining ultimately, and there must be the two differences. Okay, as per their regenerations purposes also there are the differences. Nowadays in the market we come the RO systems, reverse osmosis systems. Okay, so how and which way this reverse osmosis works, okay, that needs to be explained before the students. First, what is osmosis? First, what is the vivid examples we takes, and then we will come to this the functioning, in which way it functions. Okay, untreated waters after this osmosis process is being purified. Then the salt water, that's the desalination processes also, how this is being used. And there I will come at the next one, and the reverse osmosis, in which way it's a work. Okay. reverse osmosis work that needs also be explained, and then we will come to these chitogens. Why we will be using this chitogen, the biopolymers? Now, chitin, it is coming basically from chitin. Chitin is coming from this where now this is also a solid waste product, and that is generally coming from the exoskeleton of these arthropods. Okay, say I am giving the simple as say the shrimp. If we take say from this ocean, the shrimp, after opening is the outer cover, that is basically the polysaccharides, and then we take the meat, and it is being exported also. Okay, exported and imported business is there on this field, and there shipped one agriculture based research organization is there, Central Institute of Fisheries Technologies, CIFT, in Kochi. Okay, they are working much on this one because their main purpose in the fish related items. On a shrimp, the outer part, the exoskeleton, is basically the polysaccharides. Okay, and that polysaccharide is what? Now this is the acetyl amino glucose, acetyl amino. So it is also called the glucoacetylamine. Okay, now it is different than the cellulose. Cellulose is what? Cellulose is the most abundant natural products. Okay, so cellulose having the only OH groups in its C2 positions. Okay, now this chitin, the basic natural polymers is the chitin, which is coming from, it may come from the animal source, the what I told, the same prawn, fishes, etc. Okay, or from microbes also it may comes, or in the plant sources also it may comes. So this is the acetyl amino base polysaccharides, and the difference is what? In its C2 position, acetyl amino group is present. Okay, now once we are removing these acetyl groups, so only amine groups will present in the C2 position, and that is called chitosan, and that's why chitosan is called the glucosamine. Okay, this is also the polysaccharides. It is if we compare with cellulose, then in the C2 position we will see the OH for cellulose, and here in the C2 position having the amino groups, and being the amino groups in this chitosan, that's why chitosan is also being called the first derivatives of chitin. Okay, under these microbes, okay, it's a from the cell wall component, and chitosan leads to hydrolysis of these cell walls, and then leakage of intercellular electrolytes lead to death of these microbes. In this way, that's when chitosan works in these water purification systems. Okay, now chitosan for water treatments, say in the membranes, what I told, that's been one example, the reverse osmosis. Now osmosis processes, what happens, there also we use the chitosan based membranes. Okay, the feed waters with these impurities and permeate through these membranes. Okay, and give us the purified waters. Okay, similar way we can make some reactor design. Reactor design here. Okay, reactor designs, and there also we use the chitosan bits, and that will use as a good adsorbent. What are the different kinds of these impurities are present, that will absorb, and ultimately once it is passes through this outlet, okay, then we will get this purified waters. Okay, similar way, once in this third video I show that's been the water treatment with chitosan flocculant. Okay, say the dirty water is present, chitosan is also being used as a flocculating agent. Okay, now though in this next here you see this is the raw waters, and after purification by using this flocculant, it will give the clean waters. Okay, many of these industrial companies are using it, and that also we see it. Though I am showing the last slide as per the PPT concern, but it is not last. Still we are having the, I think, 20 minutes. I'll come to this board, and that's been a two discuss the pH, alkalinity, and the hardness relations. Okay, last, that will be the last, but this not the last, though in these slides it is showing the thank you, but it's not, still now it's not thank you now. Okay, now these are the basic starting materials for chitin, है stream, lobes. Okay, these from this one, cramp, the outer part, this is called the exoskeleton, is basically the polysaccharides, and they are what the chitins we are obtaining. Here you see the acetyl amino group is present in this C2 position. Now if we imagine the cellulose, now there it will present the OH. Rest of the things is same, everything is same, everything is same. Only in the C2 position, acetyl amino groups, there it will be present OH groups only. Rest of the things is same. Okay, so this is one part. So that's why chitosan, now once these acetyl amino groups has been, that's when this has been deacetylated, it will form the amino in the C2 position. Okay, in the C2 position. But once we obtain this chitosan, that's why chitosan is basically called a copolymer of chitin and chitosan. That's mean here it's present, say here you see the acetyl amino group is present as well as the amino group is present. That's why it is also called the copolymers of chitin. Okay, so in this way we obtain this, that's mean it is being called the deacetylated chitin, and it is also called the first derivatives of the, or the principal derivatives of chitins. Okay, now let to come to this, the, I think a board is visible. Hello, board is visible?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Achha, what I am writing, is it visible?
It is not. Yes, yes, it is coming. Now it is coming.
It's coming now. Okay, no problem. Huh? Just 20 minutes. I think a time is almost coming to this end. Okay.
Yes.
So I will take just 20 minutes, because all our teachers, they know it very well. But still now I think because water has been explained in the different ways before the students. So whether it is a new to this water field or an older timers, alkalinity, pH, and the hardness having the relationship, but still it makes a lot of confusions. Okay, alkalinity, that we know, that is defined as the acid absorbing property of water, and the major acid absorbing constituent that we typically deal with are hydroxides, carbonate, and bicarbonate. So let we have a look into this alkalinity and pH diagrams, which is being shown here. And okay. So at a pH approximately 4.3 and below, we see there is no alkalinity present. There is no free mineral, there is only free mineral acidity, which is being denoted as free mineral acidity FMA. And dissolved carbon dioxide is sometimes expressed as carbonic acid also. Okay, as we increase pH, we see that between 4.3 and 8.3, the dissolved carbon dioxide, starts to convert to bicarbonate ions. This conversion is complete at a pH of about 8.3, where only bicarbonate is present. Increasing the pH beyond 8.3, the bicarbonate ions is converted to carbonate ions. Conversion is nearly complete at pH around 10.2. This conversion is complete around pH 10.2, with almost all the bicarbonates being converted to carbonate. Further increasing the pH past 10.2, above of this, we start seeing measurable levels of hydroxides ions. Along with these carbonate ions is present. Okay, and generally in terms of its the testing of this alkalinity, once we take this, the phenolphthalein indicator, methyl orange indicators, okay, and that we know that's been phenolphthaleins. Why phenolphthalein? Now that is the questions before the students. Now why phenolphthalein is giving hydroxides fully and the carbonate half? Okay, now what the role of this pH here, and then why methyl orange being the lower levels pH range 4.3, giving the result for all individuals or in combined. Okay, so from these diagrams it can explain very nicely. Okay, so from this one, say how from this alkalinity can be calculated in terms of the pH as well as the pH measurements also. Say hydroxides alkalinity we want to measure as equivalent to calcium carbonate also. 50,000 this one, where pKWO value is being taken as 15 at 25 degrees centigrade. Okay, and then we come to this, the carbonate. Say here's the readings coming from this pH readings only. Okay, then we come to this carbonate alkalinity, similar way as equivalent to calcium carbonate, 2 into phenolphthalein alkalinity minus hydroxides alkalinity. Similar way bicarbonate, bicarbonate as equivalent to calcium carbonate, total alkalinity minus carbonate alkalinity plus hydroxides alkalinity. Okay, so this is one part, and another one's as per the P and half M relations as per the table concern that we know, and we tell our students how and which way we will go through it as per the tables or as per the your concept concerns. Okay, but this is another ones only in terms of this pH, how you can find out the hydroxide, and when hydroxides is available you can find out from this your P and total carbonate readings and the others alkalinity also. Okay, now another one that's been one other point that's been generally we discuss with our students. Say in your alkaline water presents carbonate and bicarbonate, and as per say carbonate was say for example I'm taking any example 160 and 140 ppm as equivalent to calcium carbonate. And after this titration region P and phenolphthalein reading, methyl orange reading, students have calculated how much quantity of water was given. On that basis they have calculated. Then we add a next part, that was the A part. Students has finding out the results. Now, in the next part, what we say our students just to get the better understandings of this water alkalinity as well as the hardness concerns. Now we say in the same water samples, now you are adding 200 milligram caustic, 200 milligram caustic soda per liter compositions में you have added in this water sample. These were the water samples was present, and there's the results you have obtained as per your period reading, PM reading concerns. Okay, that's fine. Now we are telling 200 milligram caustic soda per liters. On that basis, you have added in the same water samples. Now you tell me how it will change the alkalinity, change the alkalinity and its respective quantity. बताओ, है ना? And respective quantity. So that will give us the understanding whether students has properly been understood the subject or not. This is another aspect. Okay. So naturally, that's been again, that's been also we explain it also. First, we give the time to the students whether you are being able to do it or not, or whether you can think over it or not. First, you think, and whatever answers you tell us. And then naturally being a teacher, I'll give you the solutions and tell you the answers, and the student, those are being able to do it. Yes, I'll tell you, yes, Sabas beta, you have done it, and you, I think you understand the water chemistry now. Okay, so 200 milligrams one extra caustic soda has been added per liter in these compositions in these water samples. Okay, and as per the concept concerns in which way we proceed, the 200 milligram caustic soda means sodium hydroxide. That also students should be knowing caustic soda means what, or soda means what. Okay, so 200 milligrams sodium hydroxides you have added in per liter compositions. So naturally we will find out its normality as per its 40. Okay, that much normality it will show. Okay, now that is to be converted now as equivalent to calcium carbonate. So instead of N, because we are equating with calcium carbonate, so we will multiply instead of N with 50, and here we will not multiply it with 1000 again. Why not 1000 again? Because already we have taken in milligram. Here you see so many causes has been given, so that students generally not aware about it. They know instead of a you are multiply 50 into 1000. That they know very well. Once we are making it as equivalent to calcium carbonate in ppm levels. Okay, ppm means that is the milligrams per liter. Okay, but here already that means solutions was provided in milligrams quantity, so you need not to multiply it. Already his result is there. Okay, so 250 ppm hydroxides alkalinity will be added in this water. Now again they will come to this the next part. Now hydroxides, that we know, hydroxides and bicarbonate, one is strong, another is weak, that will react immediately, that we know. So it will form carbonates and waters. Okay, now again they will come to this the another point. Now how much hydroxides or bicarbonate will react on it? Now which one is lowest? Now bicarbonate, as per the students result concern, that was 140. Everything is as equivalent to calcium carbonate. Here we have used hydroxides 250 ppm. So out of this, what one, the lowest one, as per the reaction concerns, we know lowest one quantity will react. So here it will make 140 ppm. So hydroxide remaining, that's mean balance. Hydroxides will be 250 minus 140 equal to 110 ppm. Okay, then another part they will come. So hydroxides present is 110 ppm. Okay, and now here as per the result concern, first result concern, carbonate 160 and bicarbonate 140, but that 140 bicarbonates already reacts with hydroxides and forms carbonate. So presence is carbonate, carbonate already present was 160. Okay, and now the new carbonate forms as per the reactions with bicarbonate, that is sorry, 140, is it? So it will forms 300 ppm. So that after adding this caustic soda, this much quantity, that will change the nature of this alkalinity as well as their respective quantity. Okay. So if here you see how many steps are there, how many ways students can understand the entire story. That's been whatever we have described in his class. Okay. Not only these treatment processes, etc., are like this, but you should come into the reality concerns, the practical concerns. Practical means the real life concerns. This also may happen many times, or someone may make some mistakes, or someone may make intentionally by adding some caustic soda and to make the engineer a fool or like this. Then they should go through it and how much quantity has been added as per the reactions concerns, as per the testing concerns. They will give us the result. Okay. So now, still now I think we are having some more times. Okay, 3 minutes more is present with me. So in this way, not only we have described the text of this water chemistry. Okay, now we have also learned about the processes, and here in these processes also what the research particularly different persons may be working on this different field. Not only they should be restricted with these biopolymers chitin and chitosan, so many different types, so they can make the new zeolite, new zeolite permanolite process. New zeolite, that's when nowadays we are talking about the nanotechnology. Okay, how this nanotechnology based zeolite can be performed, or here also in this water chemistry also we are using many types of this the nano based materials. Say we can use this the nano chitosan or chitin or chitosan nano chitosan. So we can make the nano composites also, nano composites also. Okay, for giving the better results of these membranes, or we can make some other addition along with this chitin and chitosan materials. So many times we use some inorganic substances. Okay, many times, say for example, nowadays the silver nanoparticles, silver NPS nanoparticles, because this is also antibacterial, and this is also having the very good results many of the cases. Okay, similar way here also we can find out some copper nanoparticles also in these nanocomposites. Chitin based nanocomposites are the membranes which is forming. Chitin and chitosan as such is biodegradables. It is the non-toxics. It is having the biocompatibility, everything. All sorts of the good properties are present. Those are the inherent characteristics, as well as the physical, chemical, and the biological property concerns the chitin and chitosan have, and that's why it becomes very much popular. Though, but another problem is of this material is there, the chitin, that is basically insoluble in water, and chitosan, if chitosan, what I called now, this is basically the copolymer of chitin. Acetyl amino and the amino group both are present, but nowadays what we are doing now, we are making some derivatives of this chitosan which will be soluble in water. okay, which can form the very good hydrogel. Okay, hydrogel may be used for the packing purposes of these. Instead of these hydrogen bits, we can make this packing, that's mean hydrogels also. So after this derivatization, this will give the soluble water. Many times solubility is not required, there we can use the insoluble content, say hydrogen. As such, we can use it, and that can be used for this arsenic removal, fluoride removals, as well as many of these impurities, physical or these chemical impurities concerns. Those should be able to remove it, and to get the, and those can be used as the coagulant or the coagulant purposes or the flocculant purposes. So from that point of view, chitin and chitosan also plays the very important role. So after this text, what we are coming, the latest technologies, even the RO, that's mean the reverse osmosis process. Nowadays, RO is being sold in the markets in the major quantities. Okay, how and which way it is working, how we can make the homemade filters by using these membranes also, that can also be given to the assignment, or they can thinks over it. Okay, so that was the purpose of my talk. Okay, so to describe each and every aspect, not only this text but also how to motivate them, how to encourage them, how to make their lesson joyful. Okay, so thank you very much. I think I have completed my
No, sir, it is, it was
bolo.
okay. It was fine and timely. It was timely ended.
Yes.
And that was indeed very good presentation. In fact, it covers all the things, all aspects of water chemistry, and its related aspect. It was nice presentation, sir. So, am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
So, very nice to hear and very nice to see such a wonderful presentation. We are very much thankful. And here I would like to present you some virtual mode e-momento. So because in this COVID situation, everyone is at location. So we would like to present e-momento. It will take some time to open. Yes, now it is visible. Is it visible, sir?
Yeah.
So I will send you through the email. And it is
okay. Thank you very
token
much.
of gratitude from us. Please accept the same.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you very much for your talk, sir. Thank you very much for your talk.
Welcome.
And the questions I will send you over the email, whatever the questions will be.
Yeah.
It will be directly replied, and I will share your email also to the all participants.
Yeah.
So, no, sir, thank you very much for your time and for your presentation, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now can I leave?